The July stats are in, and Calgary just hit another monthly sales record. And this happened with July inventory levels the lowest they've been since 2006. So what is causing both high demand and low inventory? How long might these conditions last? And how does this impact those who plan to move in the next 12 months? Well, let's take a look and find out. Hello, I am Scott Glover with Real Broker and the Redline Real Estate Group, and thank you so much for listening. If you want to talk more about the real estate market, get some information on recent sales or up-to-date pricing in your neighborhood, or just talk about how I can help with your specific situation, you can reach out via my contact information in the description below. You can call, email, or text, or book a video call via my calendar link. Let's start off by looking at those July record sales numbers a little bit more closely. Here is the total sales graph from the Calgary Real Estate Board. This is the first time that a July has crested the 2,500 sales mark, and as you can see, it's quite a bit stronger than any of the previous Julys going back to 2009. Now, July isn't the only month to break a sales record this year. This is actually the third consecutive time it has happened after May and June set their own monthly records. So where is all this demand coming from? So let's bring back this graph from earlier this year, which shows the migration numbers into Alberta. In Q1 of 2023, net migration into the province was just over 51,000 people, and you compare that to just over 16,000 in Q1 of 2022, and that's an increase of 207%. This sort of influx of people takes time to settle. Some of these people enter the housing market right away, while some will enter the rental pool initially, intending to transition to home ownership eventually. Now, I have overheard a few people talk about waiting to make their move until the market either levels out or turns. And while we can never say anything for sure, right now Alberta's demand is expected to continue and is not forecasted to change in the foreseeable future. Alberta's former Minister of Finance Travis Toews said it best. Alberta's allure is not hard to see. Our lower cost of living, affordable housing, abundant jobs, higher earnings, and lower taxes are attracting newcomers from all over the country and abroad. So as long as Alberta continues to stand out in this way, people will continue to move to the province. So we've talked about the demand coming into the city, helping to drive those record sales numbers. Let's take a look at the supply levels that these people are choosing from. Here's the total inventory graph going all the way back to 2009. July finished the month with 3,506 homes on the market, and that's 1,800 less than last year and 3,200 less, or 48% less than 2 years ago. If anyone watching this was in the market in 2018, you had almost 9,000 homes to choose from. The market in Calgary was a lot different then, but you can see how much things have changed. If we look at new housing, Alberta recorded 2,368 new home starts in June of 2023, and that's a decrease of 30% from June of 2022. So with resale numbers at almost record lows, residential builds are also not keeping up with the current demand for housing. Now, in my opinion, one of the reasons resale inventory level has remained low is that unless you have to make a move, the ability for people to transition out of their current home isn't easy. If someone is looking to move up from their current home to something larger or more expensive, they're likely increasing the size of their mortgage, which at the current rates could make for much larger monthly payments. Is it worth borrowing that additional money at higher interest rate, or do you stay where you are and reevaluate when you get closer to your renewal date? And if you want to downsize, the affordable segments like condos and townhomes are selling very quickly, and in many cases with multiple offers. Is this an environment you really want to buy in if you don't have to? So similar to the expectations around high demand levels, lower inventory levels are expected to stay. Currently, because of the high demand coupled with that supply situation I just mentioned, our market is very tight and fast moving. You really see the impact when you look at these statistics. So the first is home values. In July, the total residential benchmark price reached $567,000, the seventh consecutive monthly price gain. Prices are now over 4% higher than the previous peak in May of 2022, highlighted in this graph. Focus on the red line as it is the benchmark price. After a decline in the second half of 2022, home values have fully recovered and then some in 2023. These price increases are happening in all regions of our city, as you can see here, but the highest are in the most affordable areas like the Northeast and East quadrants, where people are flocking to get what they want with what they can afford due to the interest interest rate hikes. The second is days on market, and this is the average time it takes for a home to sell. Since March, the average days on market has been under 30, and in most cases is actually closer to the 21-day mark. This is down from the 40-ish days it took to sell during the back half of 2022. And the third is the months of supply. We use this metric to measure how long it would take to sell all the existing inventory if no other homes came on the market. In July, the months of supply across all segments averaged 1.32, meaning it would take 1.3 months to run out of all the current supply. This metric helps us determine what type of market we are in, and Calgary is firmly in a seller's market. So that was a recap of the general market conditions, but how do things look when we break it down by property segment? So similar to the overall market conditions, every segment in July had positive year-over-year sales growth. The apartment segment led the way with 50% more sales than July 2022, with duplexes or semi-detached homes coming in next at 22%. The detached and row segments had a positive growth of about 6 to 8%. Overall, inventory levels are down across each segment except for the apartments. In July, the apartment segment had about 16% more listings added to the market, but with high demand for affordable product that was easily absorbed. Looking at prices, we saw an 8% year-over-year price growth in the detached market, which is now up to $690,000. That's a $5,000 increase from June and a whopping $65,000 increase from January. Apartments are up 12% year over year, and benchmark prices are now over $300,000 for the second time ever and up $33,000 since January. Semi-detached homes are up 7% to $616,000, and that's up 55% since January. And finally, row homes are up 14% year over year to $407,000, and that's up 51% since the beginning of the year. So now we know the Calgary market has high demand and low supply, which has led to a seller's market where homes are selling quickly and prices are increasing. So if I am looking to buy or sell, how do I navigate this? Well, for those who are selling, don't overprice your home. It will be tempting to push the price above market value, hoping that someone will be willing to pay. In most cases, your home will sit, and when someone does show some interest, you'll end up negotiating down to a price that hopefully both parties can live with. Your best chance for success is to price your home at market value, properly prepare it and position it in a way to get multiple parties interested, which in this market often leads to offers coming in above the asking price. You often find yourself getting more money for your home this way than pushing the price up and then leaving room to negotiate down. And for those who are planning to buy, engage a real estate professional early. They can help you prepare for your purchase by understanding what the market is like in your desired area, how quickly homes are selling, and how much they are selling for. This will help you set expectations and strategy. With Calgary firmly in a seller's market, those who have a plan are much better prepared to navigate it than those who don't. If you would like to talk more about your specific situation, please leave a comment below or reach out via my contact details in the description. Thank you so much for listening.